The NBA is horrified at this. After the Grizzlies ended on a disappointing note last season, they're coming back with a chip on their shoulder, but they have plenty of issues to solve in order to look relevant again. I recently just talked about how the Western Conference isn't slowing down, and the Grizzlies, yes, the Grizzlies are going to have to be the ones to adjust if they want to sneak out of the play-in tournament for next season. We'll get to all that in just a moment, but hello everybody, just want to introduce myself. I'm Jaren, bringing you the latest news and updates on everything Memphis Grizzlies related. Before we get into that, just want to give a quick shout out to my 33% who are subscribed to the channel. You are fantastic. Your support does not go unnoticed, and you're the reason why we are able to have the content that we create. But for the 67% of you, we're looking for you to hit that subscribe button. Anything I could do for this video, hopefully you like it. We take a lot of effort just creating these videos, and they definitely are. They definitely take plenty of time to do. So let me know in the comment section what more we can do to have you hit that subscribe button so you never miss another upload from us. But getting into the content, 3 things the Grizzlies must nail to secure a coveted top 6 seed. This is from Abbas Bokhari of the Beale Street Bears. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Sorry if I didn't. The Grizzlies are looking to avoid being in the play-in tournament for a second season in a row. And we go back to last season and go, well, why did they make the play-in tournament? Why were they number 2 for most part of the year, but then they miss getting at least a 6th seed? They fall out of that completely, have to play in the play-in tournament, lose against the Warriors, and it takes a blowout win at home against the Mavericks to secure the 8th seed. Now, why did all that happen? Well, you may think a lot. Taylor Jenkins, he was on his last legs. He got fired with 9 regular season games to go. Tuomas Iisalo, he stepped up, and I think that we could say all that we want to about him and how his coaching performance, but I think that we still need to judge him based on a full season rather than just 15 or so games or whatever it was. I think it was 15. But we have to think about what happened on the court. And sure, I mean, going from Taylor to Tuomas, it's, that's a big adjustment. But what did the defense look like? I mean, I know a lot of people complained about Santi and how he was a liability sometimes on defense, and yeah, I understand that, but really, did anybody play great on defense? I mean, there were games whenever, there were times whenever Edey and Jackson Jr. would come through big defensively, but what about Bane? Was he really that great defensively late in the season? What about Kennard? I mean, he looked unplayable. It looked like he didn't even want to shoot the ball. And what about Brandon Clark getting hurt? What about Jaylen Wells getting hurt? Bagley looked like we needed plenty of minutes from him, but he looked unplayable. So anybody, you can say all you want to about Santi, which I don't disagree, but that's the whole team at that point. That's the whole team not playing defense. So going into more of the article, and 3 reasons as to why. The number 1 reason the Grizzlies need to improve against teams above 500. Again, the three things that the Grizzlies have to do in order to get at least a top 6 seed. Last season, the Grizzlies went a very impressive 34-9 against teams below 500, with the Thunder being the only Western Conference team to win more games against sub-500 teams. Unfortunately, the Grizzlies went 14-25 against teams above 500, which was the second worst of the top 10 seeds in the Western Conference, and that was it right there, right? Because we just went over the Western Conference standings last night, and you look at 8-3, 8 being the Grizzlies, 3 being the Lakers, that's a 2-game difference. I mean, imagine 2 of those games, and again, I'm sure you can think of at least 4 games where they really should have swung in the other direction. And I know we're not saying that to be like hardcore tinfoil hat fans. There are at least 4 games that could have easily been the difference between a loss or a win. And that coming in, I'm not just talking about the whole season. I'm talking about specifically from mid-February to early March. And I mean, I remember specifically though the Knicks game. I'm sure you're still very irritated about the Knicks game. Whenever the Grizzlies were at home for that, um, I think it was a back and forth game between the Grizzlies and the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, either way though, the Grizzlies do need to perform better among the best teams. Now, it's they're doing their job, doing great against really good teams. But if you want to prove your record, if you want to stay out of that play-in tournament, you got to find a way to make this work. You got to find a way to win against 500 teams. You don't win. I mean, it's if you don't do that, it's not going to look good. I mean, the balance of it, like, yeah, okay, you're going to win more games than lose games, but it's like, okay, if you want to stay out of that play-in tournament, then we know how stacked this Western Conference is. In the Western Conference, they're never playing around. Number 2, the Grizzlies must stay healthy throughout the season. Yes, Ja Morant, stay on the court, man. You got to be out there for your guys. Last season, the Grizzlies had 20 players deal with injuries, which resulted in 341 total games missed as a team, some of the highest numbers in the league. I'll take a look at that in a moment because they did hyperlink a really good source there. It will be important for the Grizzlies to get Jackson Jr. and Edey back as soon as possible and for the team to remain healthy during the season. Building chemistry early and learning Tuomas' system sooner is a major priority for the Grizzlies. So, yes, the reason why I'm saying... Now, I don't... In the last video, if you want to go back to the channel bank, look at the last video before this, I did say that the Mavericks and Spurs would be better than last season. I also think the Blazers will be better than what they were last season. Now, in terms of those 3 teams being better than Memphis, I don't know. I mean, that'll take some time to decide. But if we're just looking at it on paper right now, I there's no doubt in my mind that the Mavericks and Spurs can be playoff teams next season. We're thinking about the Grizzlies and how, yeah, they're trying to beef up and get better. But so did the Mavericks and Spurs. So did the Blazers. The Clippers, I think they're nothing more than a play-in team because they've got a lot of old guys. If we're looking at the Nuggets and the Lakers and the Rockets and the Thunder, I mean, that could easily be the top 4 seeds right there. Maybe replace Timberwolves with Lakers. So then you have Thunder, Rockets, Timberwolves, Nuggets around that top 4 seed. And then you got those three teams that I said were going to be better. You still got the Clippers in the mix, and then you got Memphis in the mix. So, again, no matter what, it's going to be a competitive Western Conference. But either way, it's going to take a little time. Be patient with it. This is Tuomas' first full season, and you got new guys like KCP and Ty Jerome and Jock Landale to try and make things work. So, again, it's all going to be a process. It's not going to be a rebuilding process by any means. But also, you got to get Jackson Jr. healthy. You got to get Edey healthy. You got to have Ja Morant play a lot more games that he's played in the past few years. That has to be a priority for him specifically. And these are a look at the injured list tracker, the NBA injured list tracker, for every team in the league. I even circled, if that's, I apologize if you can't see, I know that's very small, but it talks about, it goes through columns of the amount of players hurt, the games missed, the total days missed. So altogether, that was the number 13 team, which is, above half of the teams in the league. But Grizzlies fans, they know this. I mean, they know that they've been going through so many injuries. They want to forget all about the 23-24 season. Morant has to play more. You want Jackson Jr. and Edey back out on the court. So a lot of external factors are at play here as well. But either way, nobody else cares. Nobody else cares if you... I mean, they care if... for the sympathy part, they care if you get injured. Your opponent, your peers, they care how well you're doing health-wise. But out on the court, they're trying to win. Doesn't matter. Number 3, Jaylen Wells must make a significant leap as a starter. So I think as long as he just climbs up and makes a little bit of An offensive leap, I think he'll be okay. I don't think he needs a significant one per se. Because I think that if you compare him to Stephon Castle, and I think this is unfair, but if you compare him to a guy like Stephon Castle who can do everything out there, I think Castle's sophomore leap is going to be incredible. But for Jaylen Wells, I don't think he needs that significant leap. I think he has enough help around him to where he can unlock his offensive game. They say, as a rookie, Wells has already proven to be a disruptive defender, which is great because that's what you need. You're one of the quickest teams to score, but they're not defending. There's still room for growth offensively. Keys to unlocking his offensive game include being a more consistent shooter later into the season and continuing to improve his shot creation off the dribble. So, yeah, that's exactly, I think, a great summary in order to say how can the Grizzlies play better, 3 ways they can play better. I like the first 2. I strongly agree with the first 2, except for the third one where I only have a problem with a significant leap. I don't think he needs that. I think he has enough guys around him to help him out. And I think that as long as he just creates more offensive creativity into his game, I think he'll be just fine. I like the way he is right now. He doesn't need to change at all in order to stay NBA relevant. But that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, if I was able to convince you to subscribe to the channel, awesome. You can like this video, comment on this video, share this video, leave a comment down below. What do you think the Grizzlies need to do to get into that top 6 seed and stay out of that play-in tournament for next season in a loaded Western Conference? It's not going to be easy. Jared Alator saying thank you so much for watching the video. We'll see you in the next one.